Okay, I just wanted to have a casual conversation about something that's developed in your training that I think would be interesting to talk about. We don't really get to share about as your training's evolving as much as we used to, so I'm thinking dive into a little tiny thing and how that's connected to everything else you've been doing. So maybe talk about how you had this experience when we filmed with Chatpong and his strength, and maybe a little bit about how he's still doing pull-ups and maybe changed your thought about doing pull-ups or not.
I don't think he changed my thoughts. He just reminded me, I guess.
Yeah.
Which is that, so what happened is that we were filming with Chatpong Dejrat, who has this just unbelievable clinch strength. And there's a thing that Sylvie Charbonneau said to me, or that we understood through Sylvie Charbonneau or something. I don't think she necessarily said this, but there's something about when you grab someone in the clinch, you want their response to be, oh shit.
So back up for a second, fill people in on Sylvie Charbonneau, because it's really good to talk about one's antecedents.
So Sylvie Charbonneau was who Kevin and I, you and I, by accident discovered because we had just started training with Master K and we were putting up videos on YouTube. And I think you Googled me to see how that was going to come up.
Yeah.
And so Sylvie came up instead of me or with me, because Sylvie and Muay Thai at that time was more than just me.
Much it, yeah.
I have taken over all of the Sylvie and Muay Thai. But she was a Canadian fighter in Chiang Mai at Lana, my same size, who had been there for 5 years and fought 50 times, which was just unbelievable. And she was very gracious, and when we contacted her, wrote back, gave us time of day information.
So
but
she was like a gateway for us into Thailand, really.
Yeah.
To see someone like you.
She's why we went to Chiang Mai.
Totally.
But when I met her, when I actually met her in person in Chiang Mai the first time that we went to Lana in 2010, she grabbed me to clinch. And I had never clinched before because Master K wouldn't clinch with me, and there's no clinching in America, so there's just really no clinching experience for me at all.
You had almost no training partners even by the time you came to Thailand. It was pretty sparse.
Yeah.
So when she grabbed you, she'd been clinching for years.
What I thought clinch was, based on what Master K would allow me to do, which was him putting on his turtle and then barely touching each other because he's very conservative and older. I thought that's what clinch was, more or less. And when I felt Sylvie's strength, there was just this, oh shit, that was just you just freeze. It's like when you grab a cat by the scruff of the neck and they just kind of freeze, is what it feels like to be grabbed properly in the clinch. And so I took that upon myself to be that's what your opponent should feel when you grab them. And it took me a long time, but I think that without realizing what was building that strength, that was the push-ups and pull-ups and all these kind of basic conditioning that you do in Muay Thai training, that allowed me to have that kind of grip strength over time.
And Lana at that time, old school Lana, was very big on pull-ups and push-ups and everything. Remember, they had a full-scale kind of traditional strength and conditioning kind of.
I think that thing had been there for 20 years.
Totally.
Nobody did it anymore except me because I read it. But
so when Chatpong grabbed you, filming for the Muay Thai Library.
You have to look at this. This is fast forwarding 13 years.
Yeah.
15 years, because when I met Sylvie it was 2010.
Yeah.
So I've felt strength in clinch before. I clinch with people bigger than myself almost exclusively. And there are people with just insane clinch strength, like Yodkun Pan has insane clinch strength. But when Chatpong grabbed me, just this, just his casual grip, his starting point, this is where we start, was just holy shit, that is so strong. And he tried to kind of brush it off as oh, well, you're a woman and I'm a man, so it feels very strong. And I'm I have felt many people grab me in the clinch and they don't feel like this. This is you. And he emphasized that the way you get that strength is through pull-ups, really. And he showed me the pull-ups that he was doing, that he still does, even though he's 30 years out of Muay Thai. He does not train people anymore. He runs a restaurant and runs, does
Well, he
push-ups,
never
sit-ups.
trained anybody. He left from fighting to just this restaurant career
that's
like
your-
3 decades ago.
It's his One Punch Man, like, basic training.
Totally.
You know, is to do these, like, pull-ups, push-ups, sit-ups, and running, which honestly is the conditioning you need for Muay Thai.
It is funny that when we talk to people in the traditional forms of the sport, you often get this kind of One Punch Man reality of
Because-
it. It actually, it is, what is it, like running, clinch, and some people have said that's enough.
Yeah.
Just daily 45-minute clinch and 10K run or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
But there is a very strong, once you have the language of Muay Thai,
Yeah.
it's One Punch Man type
And
stuff.
then when they have, like, a little secret that they add in, it's like squats. And you're like, that's also incredibly
Squats?
basic.
Who has that?
Wang Chinoy had his little, like, quarter squats that he
it
did
was like
for
a
leg kicks.
plyometric thing though, right?
Not even. Like, it was just kind of like a way to, like, build your leg strength
Mm.
for taking leg kicks, even though he blocks leg kicks. But I was like, how did people take leg kicks before? Because people are getting knocked out by
Yeah.
them all the time now. And he's like, oh, you do these little, like, quarter squats that he had, like, invented. But I saw a meme recently that I feel like expresses this really well, which is like, if you're going to tell me to diet and exercise, I don't want to hear it unless you're teaching me magic. I don't want to hear it. Like, basically the things that are so basic are the things that really work. And so people want the little, like, cheat code hack that people provide in their, like, content, because they're like, oh, people will click on this, they'll like it because it seems like a little cheat. But truly it is pull-ups, push-ups, sit-ups, running, like, very basic One Punch Man
And
kind of
he
stuff.
was still doing this 30 years out of the ring. And he grabbed you and it was like not missing a day.
This is the thing, though, is that even in that, like, oh shit moment that I had when he grabbed me, that I was like, been a long time since I've been grabbed like that, is that there was no part of me that was like, this is particular to him, like he has some kind of length of arm or whatever. All of those things are true. Like, he does have just kind of an anatomical freakishness with the way he was grabbing the bag and the length he has and all of these things. But that's not what allows him to do that. It is this just kind of, like, insane strength that I do believe comes from his pull-ups. And so I had this, like, oh, right. Like, I've experienced the strength from pull-ups, and it's kind of, like, gotten away from me.
I remember when you were at Petron Rung, we have video of when you had just learned the commando pull-up. You had, like, caught Bank doing it, and you're like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
Which is a kind of like horizontal to the bar pull-up. But I remember that you used to do a lot of pull-ups.
Yeah.
That was like a big thing of it. So I want to connect this to a little bit of where you like have had trouble finding the full complement of traditional training, because there just are not really traditional training Kai Moi that are in existence anymore. And after you injured your back, you started moving to weight training to like develop, to solidify your core, and it's done great things for you. Like
Posterior chain.
back before that, you never really lifted weights at all, and you were probably the pound for pound, maybe strongest female fighter in Thailand, just from traditional training. And you made this transition when you hurt your back, you fell off a horse, and you went into strengthening your core. For how many years? It's been like 2 years now, maybe?
I think it's been 3 now.
3 years. So how do you reflect on that change where you moved from more traditional training where you were training like a demon and it made you so strong, and then traditional opportunities have like fragmented and been very hard to get, and you moved to the gym to strengthen yourself?
If you think about people who are just insanely strong, you have like gymnasts, they don't really weightlift. They might do a little bit of like cross-training weightlifting, but that's not really how gymnasts
That's
get
not
their
the
strength.
core of what they are. Yeah.
And then you have like wrestlers who really do weightlift. Like it's very important for wrestlers to do weightlifting, but it's the supplementary kind of thing that just kind of adds stability or whatever the thing is. And these are two very different sports that are getting their strength in kind of different ways. But you can't only do the weightlifting and then be strong in wrestling. Like, you have to be adapting it all the time. And then you have people who their training is like farmers, like they're like throwing tires and hay bales and all this stuff, and they're just like insanely strong forever. Like your 80-year-old grandpa is still just like crazy strong when he suddenly has to lift something because he's done it his whole life kind of thing. And I think that there's like a setting situation between all of those examples that I just gave, which is that a farmer getting that strength throughout the day through all of their work, it's not like going to a gym and getting this and then applying it to something else, which is what wrestlers are doing. And gymnasts are very much like the farmers, where just your own body weight, like this repetition of pulling yourself up on a bar, the men, how they have to like go from horizontal up to vertical with this like slow, insane control and strength kind of thing. I think that my experience has become that separated thing.
I didn't follow the separated
Wrestlers
thing.
have a weight room and the wrestling room.
Right.
Farmers don't, and gymnasts don't.
Right.
So when you're doing traditional Muay Thai training, which is what I was doing before, all of that strength and conditioning happens in one space. It is separate. It's like after training or it's between rounds or whatever the thing is, but it's integral to the time that you're in the gym. It's like you're in one place, you've done all this work, you're so tired, the sun is going down, and it's like now you do your strength and conditioning at the end. And it's like you just have to go do your pull-ups is usually what it is, or like lots of sit-ups.
Yeah.
Desrot, I remember just
the
like
Desrot
endless
bar.
sit-ups.
Yeah, we should talk about that bar that's sitting there.
The pull-up bar?
Yeah.
I don't know why that bar is like more scary than any other pull-up bar in Thailand, but it is. But you do it as a group, which like not a lot of Muay Thai training is group. Like you have clinch partners and you're all doing things together, but it's not like we are all doing the same thing in most traditional training. You kind of like move around to your different sets kind of thing. And I'm not at a gym anymore.
Yeah.
So because I have so much time moving between things and changing gears to get to this other thing, like I have my pad work here and then I have my clinch here and then in the afternoons I go do here, like all these different things.
I mean, you're training traditionally, but in a very fragmented way because there is no single space that really has it.
But now it's like, now I'm going to go do my strength.
Yeah.
Which is not the case in traditional training where it's kind of just like in there.
Yeah. Like
at Silk, the young boys, the Thai boys who still train traditionally, when they're done with their clinching, the crew guy just points. He doesn't even say anything. They just go and they start doing their like endless pull-ups on the bars. And I don't know how many they actually do, but it's like, of course, that's what you just go do before you leave. It's the same way that you like go do sit-ups over here. And so for me, having like added strength training as this like Lego that got clicked onto the other stuff that I'm doing feels very different than the like end of training, sun is going down and the people who stay kind of just move into the weight room and start doing their
And how do you feel like that changed your feeling of your own body, the weight training? Because you were unbelievably strong just doing full trad, but you were in trad in 3 different gyms 3 times a day.
I don't think that I thought about strength and conditioning as being literally what it is, strength and conditioning. Like it was not like this will make me strong. It was like this is just also part of training.
Right.
Whereas when I'm weightlifting, I'm like this is for strength, and so I'm checking, is my weight going up? Am I getting more on my bench than I was previously? Like I never had that kind of concept before in the like, should I do more pull-ups now?
But how do you feel it in your actual body, like when you clinch?
I don't feel like I
Did it change
automatically
anything?
apply it to what I'm doing. Like my trainer, Johnny, asks me all the time, do you feel different in your Muay Thai now that you're doing all of these, like the kind of training we're doing? Because he's checking. He's like, do we need to add more, what is it called? Functional or mobility or whatever that kind of thing is. And when I think about it, I'm like, my balance is so much better. And that is not a pull-up.
Talk about that. Let's not pass through that real fast, because balance is maybe one of the highest scoring factors in Muay Thai.
But
it's a hidden
I put
factor.
It at number 1.
Yeah, it is a hidden. Everybody thinks about damage and strikes and whatever, all that bullshit. In traditional Muay Thai, balance is everything. So how have you felt your balance change, and what do you attribute that to?
Well, I attribute it to strengthening my posterior chain, which I did not know was as weak as it was. And I think that there's just not a lot of things in Muay Thai that strengthen that. So it is I did not know I had a deficit. And so I started taking the supplement and now I feel better kind of thing. So for people who don't know what that is, that's basically your back, buttocks, hamstrings, like it's the back of your body. And it is really good for like core strength kind of thing. And the reason I found out that that had been a weakness for so long was my back injury, which was like, it's possible that I injured my back as bad as I did because I did not have the proper musculature to protect me when I was thrown through the air and into a fence. But what was the second part of that question?
Just how you felt, if you felt there was a difference.
How I feel the balance. It's that
You're just
thing
more
where like
immovable or something?
I didn't know.
More present?
I didn't know that my balance issue was a strength issue before. I just thought it was, I'm small.
And you
I'm
were.
smaller
and you
than
are
everybody.
In everybody, yeah.
So like this bouncing off of
Teeps.
blocks or
Yeah,
teeps or whatever the thing is I'm like, well, how am I supposed to stand up against this? These
Totally.
people are just so much bigger. And then just literally being able to take up space, being like, I'm going to stand here.
Yeah.
And I still am small. Like I'm still smaller than everybody. And yet it's like, you're not like ricochet. You're not being like, like flown out.
Yeah. It also might have a psychological effect because you were always smaller than everyone you trained with and pretty much everyone you fought. You were willing to get bounced out of the pocket because you're just like, I'm small.
It is mental. We just talked about this actually because you watched that ballerina movie and we were talking about women in action. And you were saying that Ana de Armas just kind of didn't have a like substance to her.
Yeah.
And we were comparing her to like the best action hero we've seen is Atomic Blonde with Charlize Theron, who is a much bigger woman, to be fair. But she's fighting people much larger than her in that movie. Both are choreographed, but what I came up with, without having seen Ballerina, is that when you know you're going to be thrown in a stunt, you submit to being thrown. You're like, and now I get thrown through the window.
Totally.
Whereas Charlize seemed to have this, like, I am going to resist being thrown through this window, even though that's the choreography. Because you would. As a fighter, you're like, I'm not going to get
And that brings the
blasted
emotion
back.
into the scene in a film, is you can feel the resistance and that the resistance isn't enough to keep you. And it's interesting, as a smaller fighter, maybe you had a psychology is like, well, I'm going to be bounced out. I'm just going to come back.
Yeah.
But now, with maybe more solidity from your weightlifting, you're like, I'm not going to be bounced out. Or I can stand here maybe a little more. I mean,
There's just a little more fuck you in the in the where you stand, kind of where I stand.
That's amazing.
Talking about me, yeah.
So what's kind of interesting to me, you've gone through this like 3-year arc with some fragmented traditional, like having to piece together your traditional training and doing this weightlifting to strengthen your posterior chain. Then we run into like Chet Pon, who's like this Muay Thai specialist.
Who is not jacked. Like this dude is so spindly looking.
No, at all. And you rediscover the purity of trad training, the one-punch man dimension of it. And what I'm interested in is that it inspired you. Like, you're like, now I want to do pull-ups throughout the day. Like, I want to fold back in some of that old experience I was having when I was going to 3 gyms a day. You were piecing it together in the trad thing, not in pieces. You would do 3 full sessions a day. And I'm like, you're tapping back into that One Punch Man feeling now because we filmed with this man who runs a little restaurant. It's very like, I don't know, Karate Kid again.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that it also reminded me what that kind of, not like it is muscles, but it's not like force strength. It's just this kind of like constriction, the way a snake is just all one muscle kind of strength. it reminded me that when I'm struggling against like Yod Kun Pan, who also has weird, freakish strength given his body type and age and what he looks like and all these different things, I'm like, right, it's this grip. It's not that I suck at clinching and he's so much better. It's not that like I've forgotten everything that I'm able to do with other people, like blah, blah, blah. It's just this like, it is insanely hard to get around this factor.
And Yod Kun Pan hangs all the time when you spar with him, like you find him in the gym hanging and pull-ups, right? Does he do pull-ups?
I think he does pull-ups. Not an insane amount, but I think he does them when he hangs.
Yeah. So
But even just hanging, that's grip strength. And grip
do you
strength
think
is
there's
huge.
something about the pull-up motion, the way that you're exacting tension throughout a complete movement, a range of movements, that gives you that weird snaky thing that freaks people out when you grab them?
I'm not sure, because honestly, for me, when I'm doing pull-ups, I feel most confident and like my strength is becoming dangerous when I do them very, very slowly, like slow down. Everyone goes fast up, but like very, very slow down to like control the muscle the entire time. That's when I feel like I'm like my strength is getting dangerous. When I watch Thais do pull-ups, that's not how they do those short little like they barely go all the way.
Well,
but it's effective.
but
like,
that
it's
might not
working.
be the like old school way of pull-ups either. Like
When Chat Pon did his like example, he was not doing this like Sarah Connor like slow pull-ups, which is, you know, I don't know. So I don't know that you have to, you know, dissect which kinds of pull-ups should I be doing? Should my hands be this? Like I noticed that he does the chin-ups and I do pull-ups. And so I was like, oh, maybe I should do more chin-ups. And I looked into it, like what muscles are different in this, whatever. And they're like, these are largely the same muscles, which I think is true, but it cannot be exactly the same because I could not do the chin-ups and I could do the pull-ups. And so I had to like build my strength back up. I think it like slightly changes what part of your forearm you're
I'm sure
using.
that in comments we'll get a lot of authorities letting us know how big or not a big difference.
But the oh shit of like this is coming from pulling your body weight up and down. Like it's just so like, I said it in my voiceover in the library where I'm like, I can fight this for a little bit.
Right.
Like when you get grabbed, you're like, okay, I can fight against this for a second. You're not like, oh, I'm fucked the second he grabs you. But you really realize fast in a kind of quicksand kind of way. You're like, my struggling is making it worse. And like, it's just, it's not gonna get better.
Well, there's also a weird thing that we know about old school clinch techniques is that they're meant to wear you down with persistence, not only in tempo and coming at you and grabbing you, but also like you feel like you can exert a defense against this, but it's tiring you more than it's tiring them.
That was the thing when I put up that clip of Panam Tuong Lek and Gong Tor Ni. Very famously, Panam Tuong Lek took Gong Tor Ni's back for like 30 seconds in round 5 of their fight together. And the ref was just like, fix it yourself. It was kind of insane. But the thing that was so intense about Panam Tuong Lek as a fighter, and then you can see it, it's very illustrated throughout that entire fight.
And you've felt his clinch too.
It is
in the
not
library.
Inescapable, like I can't get out of this lock.
Yeah.
It's that he continues to re-grab you, which is just so suffocating. Someone who locks and holds is kind of like this is very annoying, and you get like emotionally tired. Someone who continually re-grabs you is just like this kind of hopeless fatigue.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like exhausting to watch.
Yeah. And in that there is strength in their arms that feels unnatural, every time you have to exert more energy than they do. We saw that with the Chat Pon video, and Diesel Muay would also say it. He'd like, I'd grab in the clinch to rest. Like great Muay Khao fighters honestly kind of rested in the clinch.
Yeah.
Because so much of once they got their slots in, they were kind of barely moving in a weird way with
They
their
kind of,
upper
like,
body.
create a like setting. That they
Yeah,
can just kind of,
exactly.
like-
While you exhaust yourself trying to like pull yourself free. So there's a deficit that in the third round and the fourth round starts to like pay off. Yeah. It's very beautiful. So as you're looking forward from this like clinch one punch man thing and the weightlifting idea of strengthening your core, I know you were like, oh, I'm getting kind of bigger than I really want to be. So you're cutting down your weightlifting a little bit. How do you want to like pull those two things together? The like posterior chain and the one punch man stuff and all the trad sparring and clinching that you do?
I think there's just a functional difference between the kind of weightlifting that I'm doing and the purpose of the weightlifting that I'm doing. So in the example of a gymnast or the farmer, these like insanely strong people, the farmer is not like, I'm gonna lift a slightly heavier hay bale today because they're starting to get light kind of thing. Like they're gonna just chuck as many as there are, and the weight's not like going up as a like gradual overload kind of thing. It's possible they can then grab two and throw them as they get stronger or something like that, but the purpose is not this like, I'm trying to get my PR kind of thing. And so I think that that's the kind of difference I'm feeling in the kind of conditioning you get from the pull-ups, which is like you weigh the same every day. So it's just how many you're doing. You're not like trying to like increase the weight or whatever the thing is for the purpose of the number of strength. It's like, is this functionally letting me shut people down kind of thing, in which case you maintain that instead of like trying to hit something higher.
Yeah.
And I think that my difficulty with the weightlifting is that I'm going higher, like I'm lifting heavier all the time, and I'm not seeing it translate into
Performance.
now I'm blocking out Yud Kunpan better, or now I'm controlling M16 better, or like.
So you're actually pursuing a kind of like aesthetic line where you want to just feel stronger. And
Well, I want to be strong.
be stronger, but in actual performance. And if you're not feeling that, having that experience, then it's not necessary to technically get stronger, like bench press 10% more.
Yeah, because that's not my goal.